Hey everyone, we got interrupted. So, a little technology problem. So, we're going to continue. The black cat just walked in. It walked over to the fireplace and jumped into the middle of the flames, picked up a flaming hot coal and started to lick it. Then it looked straight at the man and said in a slow, screechy voice, "Are you going to be here when John gets here?" He was a big man. He was a strong man. He was a not gonna be scared by any cat sitting in any fireplace licking any coal kind of man. He stared into the fireplace and said, "I'll be here when John gets here and past that." And he snapped his fingers to prove he didn't care. He sat back in his chair and went back to sleep. Boom! The clock struck 1. The man sat up. What? What? Oh, it's just the clock. The door behind him opened, and in came another black cat. This one was the size of a Doberman Pinscher. It had black matted fur and fiery red eyes, just like the other one. Its voice was deep and snarly. He walked over to the fireplace, sat next to the other cat, picked up a log, bit off the end, and sat there crunching noisily. It looked out at the man and said in a slow, snarly voice, "Are you gonna be here when John gets here?" He was a big man. He was a strong man. He was a worried man. But he'd never run from anything in his life, and he wasn't about to start now. So he looked straight at the great big cat and said, "I'll be here when John gets here and past that." And then he snapped his fingers again to prove he didn't care. He looked around at the shadows of the room and then added, "And I'm not scared." He sat back in that chair, and truth be told, it took him quite a while to get back to sleep. Bong, bong. The clock struck 2. The man sat up. What? Oh, it's just the clock. The door behind him opened, and in came another black cat. This one was the size of a large pony. Its hair was thick and matted with straw and sticks. Its eyes were bright red, and they were so big they gave off their own light. Its voice was deep, loud, and gravelly. It walked over to the fireplace, ate up the other 2 cats, licked the fireplace clean, and then turned those glowing red eyes back toward that man. It opens its mouth to show 2 rows of long, needle-sharp teeth. Then it said to the man in a low, deep, gravelly voice, "Are you gonna be here when John gets here?" He was a big man. He was a strong man. He was a gone man. And that's the sad cat as he left. The author's note says, "This is one of my favorite spooky stories. It has been making the rounds in the oral tradition for a very long time. I heard it for the first time almost 12 years ago as a short joke. Many people will recognize it by a number of other names. Martin's Coming, or maybe Pancho Villa, to name a couple. Usually, after I tell the story, a member of the audience will come up to me and announce they've heard something like it somewhere before. This is the version that I tell. I hope you will enjoy it and share it with somebody else. So I have shared this with you Does that story sound familiar? Has that been passed down like a folk song? Things that are passed down from generation to generation, like from your mom or dad or aunt or uncle, from their mom or dad or aunt or uncle, like your grandma, your great grandma, great grandpa. Have you heard anything like that? Let us know. Enjoy.